All right. One thing I noticed for the last 3 years since I've been on YouTube, I've had to expose a lot of stupidity. My videos have shown you that the people who say the league is scripted and rigged, who make these predictions, right, they fail because they actually don't watch the game at all. And this is proven, right? Again, I'm telling people time and time again, stay away from people who make these predictions and they say it's scripted and rigged, and then they blame something on a disease. Like, for example, before I get to Carl Blacknado, who I'm finna expose, you got this other dude, this nutcase right here that says, "Oh, the New Orleans Saints will win 2020 Super Bowl because of coronavirus." So pretty much you ain't even looking at the other like 31 other teams, right? Who got just as good chances as them, right? You're not paying attention to them. You just say the Saints, right? Again, these people are retarded. They're dumb as hell, man. I'm clear. It's just too much time wasted. But let's get on Carl Blacknado, right? Because this guy here, I'm serious, man. Like, I want y'all to see. I'm gonna see. I want y'all to see how stupid he is, right? And how dumb. And I'm gonna chime in. But for one, before we get started, why do you have a thumbnail of Drew Brees in a Charger uniform? Like, what kind of stuff is that, right? Y'all check this out, right? When Drew Brees, so the NFL announced that they're gonna put Drew Brees in their next Hall of Fame class, and when Brees is in Canton, Ohio, giving his Hall of Fame speech, and he's inducted to the NFL Hall of Fame like everybody else ahead of him, he's gonna be known as being a New Orleans Saint. He's not gonna be a Charger. That man ain't played for the Chargers since 2004. Literally since I believe it was the 04-05 season. That was over 15 years ago, man. Like, come on now, dude. The Chargers are in LA now. They're not San Diego. This dude is the only man who's ever won Saints. Their first and only Super Bowl, right? He's gonna be known as a New Orleans Saint. He won't be a Charger. That's a stupid thumbnail. But I want y'all guys to just pay attention to this video. Let's go from the very beginning. I'm gonna show you how stupid this guy is.
What's up, guys? This is Carl Blacknado, and the New Orleans Saints are going to win the championship in 2020. Here's my evidence.
All right, so once again, I showed y'all in the week of the Super Bowl, right? When I exposed Hubbard, I told you that these numbers don't mean nothing. These numbers the numbers they calculate ain't got nothing to do with the actual game itself. Nothing, right? They don't got nothing to do with these athletes, these football players on these teams, right? It's got nothing to do with these guys that have to give up at wake up at 5, 6 in the morning, right? And go to the weight room and train. These numbers ain't got nothing to do with these players that got to go to the film room with their coaching staff and watch plays, okay? And they got to look at their playbooks and go over strategy, right? They got to talk formations. This ain't got nothing to do with this, right? This ain't got nothing to do with them have to go through training camp, right? Because if the game is really scripted, right, then how come people get cut? How come everybody don't make the 53-man roster, right? In every football team, you don't have 53 guys. It'd be 60-some guys. How come we don't got 70, 80 guys on a team, right, out there playing? If it's really that scripted and rigged. People that have gotten drafted didn't even make the team. That's the crazy part. You know how many first-round picks we've had there are busts? Like, come on now, dude. Like, again, these people who make these videos, they're not watching the entire season at all. Again, how's Gematria going to help a team win? It's not. And again, and I've said this before, the Saints have had 3 opportunities. The last 3 years, the Saints have had the better team that was projected to go all the way. And then what happened? They fail every time. Why? Because there's other teams better than them. And this is silly. Again, I've said this time and time again, right? And I'm going to keep saying this too, right? There have been people who pretty much bet money based on Gematria and have all lost, okay? Right? You say it's scripted and real, but y'all can't get a single prediction right.
Drew equals 50. During the final 2 years.
Yeah, Drew does not equal 50, but continue.
In his contract, he signed for a $50 million deal.
Okay, he signed for a $50 million deal because that's how much money he's actually worth. Numbnut. That man is worth $50 million based on his stats. Okay, based on his accomplishment, his stats, based on Drew Brees' numbers, he's worth $50 million. You see, most players get paid based on what they worth. Okay, despite the playoff record Brees has had in the last 10 years, the man stats speak for itself. The man is always within the top 10 as far as stats, right? He passes for well over 3,500 some yards a season, okay? He produces more touchdown passes than most other quarterbacks, okay? That's why Brees is worth that kind of money. He's one of very few quarterbacks in this league who've actually won a title before, okay? That's why he's worth $50 million. Okay, just this 50, this number 50 means nothing. This is just a number. Okay? Because for the last 3 years, man, these numbers did not say Drew Brees at all. And I had a prediction where I had Drew Brees in the Super Bowl, right? And you lost, okay? So again, y'all can't. I made a prediction, right? And Drew Brees let me down. Again, 2 years ago, right, in Super Bowl 53, I had Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. Y'all seen it in my video. What happened? Drew Brees got picked off by the Rams in overtime. Okay? But I guarantee you, Carl Blacknado did not see those, did not watch those games. Carl Blacknado literally didn't watch Drew Brees all last year at all. He really didn't, or else this dude wouldn't be making this prediction. Again, it's retarded. It's dumb, dude. It don't make no sense. If that's the case, how come Tom Brady, you know what I'm saying, lost to the Titans? Explain that, man, please. You see, man, y'all feel these veterans just because they a name brand, just because they a name, think they automatically good, right? No. Just because Tom Brady got 6 Super Bowls don't mean he's gonna always win. Right? That's what I'm saying, man. These videos are retarded. Like, again, this guy is making a prediction now, right? OTAs have been canceled. No team has actually practiced at all. None. Like the other YouTuber I showed you earlier in this video, right? That dude gonna say they're gonna win because of coronavirus. You know, every team can't even practice right now. The NFL has not officially opened up yet, right? We not even in August, and you making this type of prediction, man. It's sad. You need to do something else with you need to do other YouTubers. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to leave sports alone, for real.
You know why? Because it's a tribute to Drew. Drew equals 50. He signed a $50 million deal in 2018.
Okay, so let me phrase this right. Since his date says February 12th, 2009. You seen this, right? Breeze, his date said, you can't see it now, but his date says February 12th, 2009. Let me shift this over, right? So y'all can see this date, right? Now this was last year, right? It's 2020. This was last season. All right, so he did this earlier last year, right? Okay. Drew Brees just signed a contract extension. And it wasn't for $50 million either, right? He just signed another contract extension. Okay? Like just in February in 2019 signed an extension, he still didn't win. Okay? No, Brees signed an extension this year. That man's contract wasn't even up yet, right? I don't know where he's looking at, right? I don't know where you're getting your information from, but he's getting some information like some old stuff. That 2-year, $50 million deal, man, like again, man, he signed a contract, but again, dude, it don't mean that he's going to win a Super Bowl. Yeah, he's only signed a contract because that's how much he's worth, but again, that don't mean nothing, right? It don't mean nothing if his receivers don't play up to par. That doesn't mean nothing if Alvin Kamara can't get past a certain defense. If a certain defense got Alvin Kamara locked down, it don't mean nothing, right? Again, when they going to beat the Minnesota Vikings, right? That's what I'm still trying to figure out, right? Him signing this $50 million deal means nothing if he can't even beat a Minnesota Vikings team with Kirk Cousins. Drew Brees in the last 3 years have now lost to Chase Keenum, right? Of all quarterbacks, he lost to Chase Keenum, which that was Chase Keenum's first time ever getting that far. And then you just lost to Kirk Cousins last year, dude, who's overpaid. Kirk Cousins making $200 million, bro. He's overpaid, dude. Like, come on now, man. That's embarrassing. Like, really, dude. But that goes to show you how stupid this management is. Why are you giving Brees $50 million? I don't get it, right? This dude get $50 million, yeah, he can't even produce. Again, he's worth that kind of money because of stats, but again, playoff time comes, hell no, dude. Man, Brees has still not shown me that he's ready. He's just not, dude. Like, come on now, man. Like, yeah, he signed a 2-year deal, but that's not even helping him. That money ain't helping him at all. It ain't gonna help him beat nobody.
For 2 years, which means he's going to get a going away present within these 2 years. He signed a $50 million deal.
All right, you say going away present, right? Let me explain this. When Peyton Manning, Ray Lewis, right? When those like the last two veterans, even John Elway, when those guys all retired, they had the best teams. Okay? Let's just call it for what it is. Those guys were proven quarterbacks. Like, Peyton Manning is a better quarterback than Drew Brees. I think we all can agree. Right? Peyton Manning was able to retire with a Super Bowl ring because John Elway built a legit roster, right? It wasn't just Peyton Manning by himself. He had other guys with him that made him good. Same thing, Ray Lewis. The Ravens was stacked up, right? Terrell Suggs. You had Jacoby Jones, right? You had Ray Rice before he got suspended. Like that Baltimore Ravens team when they beat the Niners, they were stacked. So again, man, it's not that they had a going away present. They were blessed. They were fortunate. Same thing with Michael Strahan when he beat the Patriots. The Giants had the best defensive team. Okay? See, when these guys who do this gematria, these people who all say the sports is scripted rigged, again, they not looking at the entire roster. They looking at one guy. Right? Drew Brees is not going to be the reason why this team wins. One guy can't win everything. He can't carry a team. That's not how football works, brother. Right? Whoever you are, that's not how this works. Okay? Because if that's the case, again, man, how come Tom Brady didn't play in another Super Bowl last year, right? As a going away president. I believe Brady would have retired with 7, but that didn't happen, right? Everybody thought that Brady was going to retire after he won Super Bowl 53, and you're not wrong. That man kept playing. His contract wasn't up yet, right? Brady wanted to still play. His contract wasn't up. Brady's contract was up last year, and then look what happened. He failed, okay? So, again, man, how he's going to get a going away president if, again, Breeze is struggling to even get out the second round. Right? This dude's struggling, dude. This is a Saints team who lost in the first round last year. They lost in the wild card round to the damn Vikings. All right? Any Saints fan will tell you that right now. You cannot make that prediction. Him getting a $50 million contract ain't gonna help nobody. It just really ain't. Right? And I'm gonna be honest now. If the Saints really want to have a better chance to reach the Super Bowl, they might as well bench Breeze and start Jameis Winston, who's younger. Because Jameis Winston might have a much better year than he did last year under Sean Payton. The Saints aren't going to reach no Super Bowl with Drew Brees. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Right? And I'm using common sense. Right? I don't got to do no numbers. It's just obvious.
Yeah. So next year is the year. It's the last year he's able to win. And also, the last Super Bowl the Saints won was in February 7, 2010.
In which they low-key cheated, right? They did Bounty Gate. The team injured guys on purpose, right? Throughout the whole season. They went like 13 games undefeated. Again, go back, Carl Blacknado, and the rest of these subscribers, go back and go look at that game, that season when they beat the Colts in the playoff in the Super Bowl, right? Look what it took to get them there, right? And these guys pretty much, they're the reason why we have the helmet and helmet rule. Why players can't hit in the helmet no more. You can't do headshots no more because of them. Right? Will Smith, Darren Sharper, all those guys was literally, Sean Payton was paying his players to injure the opponents on purpose. Go after star players like Larry Fitzgerald, right? Every game, the Saints have somebody getting carried off in a stretcher with a concussion. Okay? It wasn't because of Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina was in 2005. This happened 5 years later, okay? So y'all need to stop with the conspiracy theories. Okay? Y'all don't know football. Y'all just admit it. Y'all don't watch these sports. Okay? And this how stupid this video is too. Why are you breaking up on what they won in 2009? Look how long ago that was, brother. 2009 was like 11 years ago. They ain't did nothing since then. They ain't won nothing since then. Right? That 2010 was their only Super Bowl. It's been like 10, that was 10 years ago. The 09-10 season was like 10, 11 years ago. They have done nothing since then. Yeah, because just because Drew Brees is fit to be 42 years old, don't mean he's finna retire with a ring. Right? That don't mean nothing. Yeah, Peyton Manning, all those guys' contract. Again, Peyton Manning was blessed. I'll be honest, Peyton Manning was blessed. His last year in Denver, he was blessed. Akeem Talib, Von Miller, right? I think C.J. Harris, Brandon Marshall, those guys were good, dude. He had C.J. Anderson, Emmanuel Sanders, right? Demaryius Thomas. Peyton Manning had a good team built around him. Right? It wasn't just him by himself because he really didn't do nothing in that playoffs. Remember, Brock Osweiler won most of those games for him. Peyton Manning was out for for the second half. Peyton Manning was gone for almost half the season. Brock Osweiler came in and won like 6-7 games for them, okay? That's how good that team was. If they would never put Peyton Manning in there, Brock Osweiler, they would have won with Brock Osweiler as their backup quarterback. All right? So same thing with Drew Brees. Like, I don't think the Saints I believe Drew Brees is done. Drew Brees should have just retired. They're not going to win with him in the lineup no more. I'm just going to be honest. Like, the Saints got a core, but certain things going to have to change, dude. But no, man. You talk about a Super Bowl that happened 10 years ago. This is 2020. Football is different than it was back in 2010. It's played a whole lot differently.
So, it would also be 10 years in 2020 since they won a Super Bowl. Guess what else equals 10?
And in those 10 years, we've seen Carolina, right? We've seen Carolina. We've seen Philadelphia. We've seen the Rams. We've seen the Falcons. We've seen the Seahawks twice. We've seen the Green Bay. Yeah, I think, yeah, no, not Green Bay. Green Bay didn't make it, but yeah, we've seen the Seahawks twice, right? We've seen the Carolina Panthers. We've seen the LA Rams, right? The Atlanta Falcons. We've seen different teams in the Super Bowl, right? Not the Saints. In the last 10 years, the Saints have not went. There have been other teams, right? Philadelphia was in there. Now just look at what happened the last like 10 years. That's what I'm saying. It's been different matchups. There's been different NFC teams going. We didn't see the same teams, right? This is not like the AFC. We just had New England for the last 5 years. Like, no. If you look at the Super Bowl, right, there's been different NFC teams going into those Super Bowls. It wasn't the same team, right? So again, what does that tell you? That tells you about how competitive the season is. It's not easy, right? Not to forget to mention the Saints didn't even make the playoffs within those 10 years. See, Carl Blacknado is not going to mention that at all. Sean Payton had to go through, and Drew Brees had to go through a rebuild within that process. Like, because in 2011, from 2011 all the way until, from 2011 all the way until like, from 2011 on, I think it was, 2012, 2013, that team didn't make the playoffs. Like the 2012, 13, and 14, I think there was like 3 years where the Saints didn't make the playoffs, right? Again, that team went through a rebuild before they got to where they are now. Remember, they've been in the playoffs the last 3 years and failed each time. Okay? That's why I don't get why he's making this video now. Drew Brees decided another contract extension for 2 more years. Okay? So that means Drew Brees' contract won't be up until 2021. But of course, Carl Blacknado is not going to tell you that. Yeah, if the date says February 12, 2019, he signed an extension, that means his contract won't be up until 2021. Right? And let me say this now. In the history of NFL, no other quarterback has played past 40. None of them. Right? Most of the Hall of Fame quarterbacks from John Elway, right, Peyton Manning, Eli, and even Eli just last year, right? But Troy Aikman, Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw, those guys all retired in their late 30s. No other quarterback has even played past 40. Brees, like Drew Brees and Tom Brady, even Philip Rivers, these are the only quarterbacks that's doing it. And Philip Rivers don't even got a ring, right? And I told everybody, just because Tom Brady's on the Buccaneers don't mean they're going to go to the Super Bowl neither. But again, and not to forget to mention, Brady's now in the same division as Drew Brees. So you got that to worry about, right? I'm going to get to that in a little later on, but let's continue.
When you add the 8 and the 2 in Saints, you get 10. And that represents the 10 years since they won their last championship.
You would think after them watching Zachary K. Hubbard, right, RG the Chosen One, all these other Gematria idiots, right, that call themselves truthers and make these predictions and fail, you would think somebody like Carl Blacknado would learn a lesson. Right? You would think that, but no. You still got subscribers paying money, trying to bet money into your Patreon, right? To lose. Right? And see, all Hubbard gonna do is try to switch his prediction. Hubbard don't never stay true. Hubbard would choose one team, right? Then when that team loses, he switches up, right? He'll never apologize for how wrong he is. Right? That's what I'm saying, man. These numbers not gonna mean nothing. They keep saying it's scripted, but yet they don't get a single prediction right. Right? I watch Carl Blacknado gonna lie. Once again, this dude gonna lie. The Saints not gonna go to the Super Bowl at all. Then what's he gonna say? What excuse he gonna have then? And you can't say the script was flipped if there was no script in the first place.
And also that no call this year against the Rams is gonna be a sort of revenge storyline. So it's possible they could beat them again, they'll beat them in 2020.
Okay, so how's the Rams gonna beat the Saints? How's the Rams gonna beat the Saints in 2020? They didn't even make the playoffs last year. Again. These guys who make these videos don't watch football. If you watch the last season, the Rams completely tanked. Right? They completely fell off. Right? They fell off the map completely. And this season, right? I don't know if y'all watched the offseason, but they lost quite a few guys. They lost quite a few key pieces. And including Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley ain't the only one he lost. This team don't even have the same running backs no more. CJ Anderson and Todd Gurley are officially gone. Right? They Clay Matthews is gone. Like, they lost quite a few guys. Right? They don't have the same team. Right? They went to the Super Bowl the year before, but then they completely tanked last year. All right? There's a chance the Rams might not even make the playoffs this year coming up. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. This is why you don't make predictions this damn soon. It's too early right now. You want to say it's rigged or scripted, but yeah, you're not even watching the offseason. Carl Blacknado did not watch the whole offseason at all. He didn't see who left, who got signed, nothing. Right? He didn't see no changes at all. No, there's too many other teams in the NFC that got that much better. No, the Rams got to first make the playoffs before they can play the Saints, and even then, the Saints got to get past the first round. The Saints got to beat the Vikings. And the Vikings will still be a contending team. The Vikings ain't going nowhere. They still got a squad. Even though they don't have Stephon Diggs, if you look at the Vikings roster, they still can't compete.
For revenge for that no call this year.
And let me explain this no call. I said this in my video. Just because the Saints didn't get the no call right, that game still was over yet. The Saints had a chance in overtime to win the game. What does Drew Brees do? He throws an interception trying to squeeze the ball in. Michael Thomas wasn't even open. Instead of tucking the ball and running, he can't because he got no legs. Right? This is Drew Brees who got picked off in overtime. And even then, you were up almost by 3 possessions, right? You were up by 2 touchdowns and a field goal. The Rams had no business coming back. If the Saints was really that good of a team, they would have closed out in the fourth quarter. Again, y'all got to watch football. Y'all got to pay attention to the game. Right? You can't blame this on the Illuminati. You can't blame it on Freemason. You got to blame it on the players themselves. They're the ones down here who got to score a touchdown. They're the ones who got to stop the offense. So how are we going to have a Rams and a Saints revenge game, and the Rams might not even make the playoffs this season like they did last year. Last year, they weren't even a playoff team. The Rams are going right back to being mediocre again. Right? Jared Goff, right? Sean McVay, again, they tanked. As far as I'm concerned, they tanked completely last year. You didn't got Clay Matthews on there. Clay Matthews didn't sign a contract for that. Clay Matthews might as well should have went to another team.
And, that's going to be a storyline. Drew Brees going out on his last leg. The Saints, 8 + 2 = 10.
And I'm going to say is that how Drew Brees going to go out on his last leg, the man is going to be 42 years old. Drew Brees can't even stay healthy. Remember, when Drew Brees got hurt, he was out for like 7 games. He missed 7 games. And when he came back, Brees wasn't even that effective. You seen that. When you seen Brees come back, he wasn't even that same type of guy no more. Right? Remember, the Saints didn't even get home field advantage. That was Green Bay and that was San Francisco. Those were the 2 teams that had home field advantage, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Garoppolo. Right? Those were the 2 best NFC teams. The reason why the Saints didn't get home field advantage because Drew Brees came in and they was losing games. Right? After they took out Teddy Bridgewater, who was hot. That's the worst thing Sean Payton ever did, right? Teddy Bridgewater, again, man, he has talent. This guy's a younger quarterback. When Drew Brees was gone, this man proved that he could start for your team. This man won 7 games for you, right? As soon as you took Bridgewater out, the Saints started losing games. They started declining. And then when they got to the first round, you couldn't even beat the Vikings. If you would have left Bridgewater in there, they might have had a chance. I said that before in my video, right? So the Saints technically have the coaching staff to thank for that, right? That's their decision. It was dumb as hell, right? The reason why the Saints did good on Bridgewater because Bridgewater is fast. He got speed. The man can run like Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Those type of quarterbacks you need in today's NFL who's gotten younger now. There's a lot of 22, 23-year-olds who ain't having it no more, right? Brees gonna mess around and get hurt again, right? So that's what I'm saying. So the Saints again, man, Brees is done. If he do go to the Super Bowl, it's not going to be with him starting. I'm going to tell you that now.
10 years since their last championship. Drew equals 50. He signed a $50 million deal for the last 2 years on his contract. And, it's over. Saints are winning.
It don't matter how many times you say 50, brother. That's not going to help Drew Brees win no Super Bowl. I'm going to tell you that now. And let me go back to this now, all right? Tom Brady has officially left New England and now he's in the NFC and he's chosen the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So you got Drew Brees not only has Tom Brady you got to worry about, and yeah, I said on my video too, man, just because Tom Brady's with the Buccaneers don't mean they're going to Super Bowl neither, right? But they're going to make things halfway interesting. The Buccaneers can still make a playoff game. So not only does Drew Brees got Tom Brady you have to worry about, Teddy Bridgewater signed a contract with the Carolina Panthers. Right, so he's with the division rival. So you got the Panthers you got to worry about. You got to play against Teddy Bridgewater twice. right? The Atlanta Falcons now have Todd Gurley, who might have a better season since he's in a bunch different. He's back in his home. He's back in his where he played football in college, right? Todd Gurley's a Georgia Bulldog, so he's right back in Atlanta. Then on top of that, you got Mike McCarthy, that's a Dallas Cowboy. He's the head coach of the Cowboys. Ron Rivera is the head coach of the Washington Redskins. So the NFC East got 2 new head coaches, as well as the Giants, right? The Eagles proved they didn't get to the playoffs with a third string team. They're going to have their starters back. So that's D-Jack, right? Dallas Goedert coming back. All these guys are coming back, right? Alshon Jeffrey. The Eagles will still have his team. Then, again, you got to worry about the Minnesota Vikings, the San Francisco 49ers, Green Bay Packers. Carl Blacknado's not talking about neither one of those teams who have just as good of a chance to reach it than as the Saints do, right? You're not talking about neither one of those teams at all. Okay, this is why I make my videos. This is why I got exposed to stupidity. I gotta let these subscribers know to stop making a fool of themselves, listening to idiots who don't watch these sports at all. I can guarantee you, Carl Blacknado did not watch the last 3 seasons. For those who watched the last 3 NFL seasons that the Saints were in, you'll see why they might not ever make the they're not gonna make the Super Bowl anytime soon, right? Because yeah, even against the Rams game, right? Yeah, they didn't get the pass interference call, but that game wasn't even over yet. My thing is, how did y'all let Jared Goff get towards the 30-yard line and kick a field goal to tie the game? That's what we need to be asked. Why couldn't the defense shut them down, right? So again, how's Drew Brees gonna get to a Super Bowl when the defense can't cover nobody? And if I'm the GM of the Saints, I'm making changes. Alvin Williams got to go. Certain players on the defense, you got to trade those guys. They're not getting the job done at all, right? That team is extremely overrated. Because even last year in the regular season, right, they were losing games. They was losing momentum. Everybody, because they were projected to get the first seed. They didn't do that. Green Bay and San Francisco beat them out, right? Yet they get to the first round and they lose to a team that you were supposed to beat 2 years ago or 3 years ago, right? In 2017-2018 season, right, the year the Eagles went and beat New England, they had a chance to defeat the Minnesota Vikings, right? And you see what happened. Stephon Diggs basically burnt the whole defense. What happens last year? Kirk Cousins, right? First of all, you got Kyle Rudolph on the 1-on-1. They weren't even good enough to defend against Kyle Rudolph, the tight end. So how are they reaching the Super Bowl? But you're not even talking about the Vikings either, right? Again, until that team beats the Vikings, they know, hell no. That's not going to happen. This team is not going to even beat my Cowboys, right? And notice, Drew Brees can't even beat my Cowboys. The Saints defeated Cowboys with Bridgewater. They didn't defeat him with Drew Brees. 2 years ago, the Cowboys defeated Drew Brees in the regular season. Okay, so y'all need, I'm just letting y'all know that now. I'm just letting you know what time it is. And again, Carl Blacknado don't know that Jameis Winston is on the Saints. Jameis Winston might actually be the starter. If I'm Sean Payton, I'm starting Jameis Winston over Drew Brees. Because I can't afford to have Drew Brees be my starter and he can get hurt again. Because if Drew Brees gets another injury, he's done. His career's over. And I'm pretty sure the doctors have told him that already. But no, these Gematria numbers not going to work. That don't help no team win. This is why Zachary K. Hubbard going to keep losing his predictions, right? He don't get a single prediction right. They'll say RG had chosen one. This is why all these people who keep doing Gematria on these sports don't get a prediction right. They don't watch the game at all. They don't. Right? They only watch the first quarter to the fourth quarter. Right? Even when they watch the Super Bowl, they don't understand play call. They don't understand rules. They don't understand play calling. They don't understand a playbook. None of that. Yeah, Breeze is a good football player. I give him that. He had a nice career, but his time is up. Because how you been in the playoffs for the last 3 years, you had the better NFC team, right? And yet you keep losing and failing. There's no excuse for that. And Sean Payton may be losing this touch either, man. Maybe it's Sean Payton. They may just be a new head coach, man. Sean Payton may need to retire too. That could be another issue, man. Sean Payton's defense is not working no more. So the problem may not only be Drew Brees, it may be Sean Payton too. Sean Payton got out-coached by Zimmerman twice. Mike Zimmer, right, of the Minnesota Vikings has out-coached Sean Payton. That's a problem. Okay? So this is why the Saints will not reach the Super Bowl in 2020. They're not going to Tampa Bay in 2020 for the Super Bowl, right? I'm saying that now. Right? If they do want to reach it, they're gonna have to make a coaching change. Right? They're gonna have to make a they got to change their team around. That's the only thing that's gonna get the Saints in the Super Bowl next year. They'll have to change quarterbacks. Breeze can't be your starter no more. He just can't. That don't make an ounce of sense. To sign him to extension, man, is retarded. It's dumb. You could have kept Bridgewater, and you would have a better chance reaching it with Teddy Bridgewater than Drew Brees. I don't trust Brees at all at this point. You're 42 years old, right? You're an old man that can't let the game go, right? And then Carl Blacknado is not even taking it into consideration. Again, you got certain defense that may be able to stop him. He's not looking at none of this. The man don't know what he talk about. He don't know football. Okay? Anyways, folks, that's the video, man. Like, subscribe, comment, like. Stay blessed, stay tuned. I'll see you soon.